3, 2,
And we're already live.
Hey, right on the money. How's about that, guys and gals? How are you? Welcome to Nerd Talk from the other side of the world. That's JJ. I'm PGM, or Pete, if you want to say that. Yeah, it's another week with us guys. Yes, us guys talking about Loki. And JJ, how are you, mate? How are you?
I am good, my brother. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic because we're talking about this new season, not new season, new episode of Loki. You've got your Victor Timely, brother.
Yes, time is everything.
Fantastic, absolutely
Hi,
fantastic.
KLC. No technical difficulties. We were just trying to make everything nice and easy. And Rolando, like always, hi, buddy. How you doing?
So, and join us for this Nerd Talk with JJ and PGM. Zinger. Okay, that's us. That is us,
Zinga.
guys. And I'll be playing. I'll play this now. Sorry, follow JJ as well before we go on. This guy here. And here he is. He goes, oh, hang on. He's not there. So he's gone somewhere. Where you going,
Sorry.
JJ?
Sorry. The royal throne called.
So
just in time.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Yes,
again,
I was. Keep on collecting, watching the last 5 minutes of Loki.
No. Hello, Rolando. Yes. And oh my goodness, what's that? Close it. That's no notification coming up on my computer. Nothing to worry about. Okay, keep on clicking. G'day, mate. How's it going? Yes, most probably. Yes, Loki. Episode 3, brilliant. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Still continues to impress.
It's Jonathan Majors, come on, he plays a scientist quite well, and this is again spoiler alert if you haven't seen this. We're going to spoil it to death. Yes, JJ was excited, I know, because he was talking about Victor Timely. This episode showed Victor Timely, and it showed Renslayer coming into it as well. That was important, and minutes. So, of course, with I always get this Mobius and Morbius. Mobius and Loki.
Without the R. It's not Morbius. It's Mobius.
That's the sounding of me being dyslexic in mind. That's just but it was good. It was a good episode. Kind of again, playing with time, with Renslayer coming into it and slipping a book into the window of young
Victor Timely.
Timely, getting the storyline kind of freaked out almost, because he was the first one. I think that Renslayer wants this Victor Timely to become He Who Remains. So that's why she gave.
Well, it's like she's gonna it's like she's trying to change time again.
Yes.
Or she's trying to shape it.
That's vaping, isn't it? Are you vaping?
It's a cigar.
Right.
It's a cigar that I had on last one. I have vodka cigars right here. Yeah. I love cigars. I don't
Right.
normally smoke them or anything, but when I do, I'll go outside. But what I'm doing is, since this one's not as good anymore, I'm tipping it in the whiskey and just puffing it like that. Actually, when you dip it in whiskey or tequila and then you puff it, it gives it a better aroma, better taste. But right now, I'm just dipping it in the whiskey and giving it a
What
taste.
the hell are you talking about? Oh, Matt, we're talking about Loki. We're not talking about Texan oil or JJ smoking cigars. Come on, get with the bloody program here. So, uh, um, actually, before we get into it, Loki, again, uh, do want to make a little bit of a retraction on what I said about George Lucas, but we'll get there afterwards.
Let's get to
Just a
that in a
little
little bit. Let's talk about Loki. Loki.
Loki.
L-O-K-I. L-O-K-I. Loki.
But what did you think anyway? What did you think, Jojo? I mean, this episode. What did you think? Let's get
Beautiful.
Jojo's thoughts.
Beautiful. Um, just seeing Renslayer again, seeing what her tactics are, seeing how Miss Minutes actually really is now that she's becoming. She's almost Miss Minutes is like Ultron 10.0 or some crap like that because she's starting to have her own, doings. Um, Mobius and Loki looking for this guy. To me, the biggest key is Jonathan Majors playing to Victor Timely. A professor, a a scientist, a geeky scientist, the way he acted, you know, um, Sylvie saying, if I meet another variant of him, I'm going to kill him, you know, and Loki now becoming the Loki that he was during the Avengers saga, but a different way where he's trying to save the timeline now. Um, it's just amazing the way this episode went. I know that the first episode was brilliant. Second episode was good. It wasn't brilliant, but it was good. But then they went back to brilliant. So I'm really waiting for episode 4 now because they're saying that's the one that's going to be the key for almost everything. And I hope so because. Nah, you're okay, KOC. He's just joking with you. But yeah, no, I mean, just seeing how everything is going to go, it's going to be great. I love the way it ended, where Sylvie pushed Renslayer to where it was the end of time, where he who remains is dead, and you just see him, just decomposed, and it's like, wow, what does that mean? How many years has that? Like, how long has that
Yeah,
been till his
yeah.
body's been decomposed? It's like, wow, that's amazing.
The crumbling effects of the timeline. That's where. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is she trapped? Is Renslayer gonna be trapped in this place, right? Or is she
I
gonna
don't
do
think
something
so.
else? So I don't think so either. But
I think Miss Minutes
uh,
has a trick, a time or two tricks up her sleeve.
yeah,
Miss Minutes knows how to get away with things. She can always go back to the TVA, get one of those little freaking time jump things, and I mean, we'll see. I mean, because I was afraid that Sylvie was going to kill Renslayer. I don't want her dead. I want her to be around for the whole episodes, and then maybe hopefully she comes out in Kang Dynasty. I really want to see Kang and Renslayer be the
sorry,
main,
itching my
double
ear on low
squeeze
screen.
to be the main villains of, this.
Right, sorry, I'm itching my ear on live stream. It's disgusting. I might as well just pick my nose as well and just get that over and done with.
I'll
Sorry.
pick my butt then too.
But no, yeah, it's why she chose not to kill Renslayer, and then kick her to, let's say, the curb of the end of time, and watching a decomposing body of he who remains is interesting. Yeah, I don't think Renslayer's time is ended. She'll make her way back. I think there might be a reason Sylvie has kicked her there. right? So because
Aaron.
Victor Timely has gone with Mobius and Loki to fix the timeline
TVA,
of the TVA. So, and I love that little battle between Renslayer, Mobius, and Loki, and even Miss Minutes to actually like jostle for position for Victor Timely in this episode, because both Miss Minutes and Renslayer wanted Victor Timely to actually become who he was supposed to be, right? Or, to, because that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to actually groom Victor Timely to actually create or this TVA to become something what they wanted it to become. And then here's Mobius and Loki jostling for their position to actually say that we've got to fix the timeline up. That was brilliant. And then the whole thing just went tits up to kind of face tits up, with Miss Minutes trying to actually come on to Victor Timely to actually, wanting to be the girlfriend, right? Make
his
a real
girl.
boy
I
or
be
girl.
your girl.
So, and that was really,
I
really
love you.
ominous and I love you.
I'm telling you, Miss Minutes is someone to watch out. You got to be very careful with Miss Minutes because
I think she's the real bad guy here.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. You know how what's her name? Sylvie. You know how Sylvie came in when they were on that Ferris wheel kind of deal. She was saying something about give me a moment. Hold on.
One memento. Right. Oops.
Okay. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, so one of the things that Sylvie said to Loki was, "It's you who created him by giving him the book."
JJ,
right?
you're sort of cutting out. You're sort of cutting out a wee bit on your mic. Is it your mic? You're cutting out a wee bit. So in and out. It's just little
Here,
glitches.
let me see. Hold on.
Glitches. Sorry.
Hold on. Let me give me a moment.
Sounds all right now. Sounds all right now. I don't know what's happening. What's happening?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah,
better?
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better. Yep. Better. Yep.
Okay. So
yep.
She told Loki that it was his fault that this guy's been created, like he's the one that created and all that. Remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, KOC.
Yep.
Okay. So what if it's, how do I explain? As it is from what they're saying, Sylvie has already destroyed the timeline. She's already made everybody free, and she's screwing up the timeline, right? So what if, again, she's the one that's screwing up the timeline again and blaming Loki without even knowing that it's her kicking Renslayer into the end of time? Because if you go back to episode 1, we hear Renslayer talking to He Who Remains, or Kang, or one of them. Japanese.
Matt, sometimes you have the weirdest sense of humor that it just goes way over on my top of my head at the moment. So stick your bloody subtitles.
Nishan Sanchi.
Stick your bloody subtitles or something on. Your English subtitles if it comes out in Japanese then. God.
Ning Chang Wing.
Maybe we should start speaking Swahili. That'll fuck you up, won't it? Sorry, excuse me.
What's Swahili?
I don't know.
What's Swahili?
Some African Which, so, um, uh,
How about that language?
anyway, yes. Going back to Loki. Until we were rudely interrupted by some stupid comment that KOC made. Anyway,
It's not a stupid comment. It was a funny one. It's a good one.
Okay. Let's
Don't be hard on KOC.
I will be. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
The thing is that it was yeah, it's you kind of have to wait for this episode 4 to actually see where it's going. I mean, they've had so many deaths on so many timelines at the moment, so I mean that's what Mobius and Loki want him for, right? To actually clean up the timeline, and they want Loki. They want Victor Timely to actually find a solution, because
Well, no, aren't they taking him back to fix up that thingamajigger that's messing up?
Yeah. So it's basically that's what they're taking him back for, because Obi said, look, if we don't fix that, it's going to be the end of everything, right, and everyone. So
time temporal or something like that, or time auxiliary temporal or something like that.
I mean, it's interesting, almost interesting. Yeah, you're a real metal person. Sorry, I'm kidding. But
special.
I'm just
being
facetious.
One of the things, Pete, that's kind of interesting is that I want to know what's going on in Sylvie's head. What's going on with her personally, because she's come out less time in this season from last season. Okay, she comes out a little bit and then she's gone, comes back, gone, and I wanted to know what's going on with her, what she's feeling, because to keep Renslayer alive, to tell Loki that it's your fault, but then do not make me regret this. It's kind of like this Sylvie is starting to have a heart, but just
I think it's a life. She wants a life.
Mhm.
JJ, she wants a life. She's gone into that kind of. I think the new rock stars actually made a good connection where Mobius started, or his. He was that's a young Mobius in that McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Check out New Rockstars. They're quite good on their analysis of Loki at the moment. So good watch. But I think that's what she's fighting for. She's fighting for that. She just wants a life. She wants to be left alone, right? She wants, that's where, it was where that tag, when she was resting on her car, when the young Mobius came and said that good night, right?
Yeah.
She felt something. She is changing. You're right. She is changing. She is being softer. But the thing is that she doesn't want. Maybe she doesn't want Renslayer dead just yet. There's something there. Something. There's something. Maybe Renslayer is trapped there for a bit, right? But she. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You kind of have to watch the space, but maybe she kicked her there because there's some reason that she needs to be there. Right? Maybe it's a realization. Maybe it's a realization that maybe it was Renslayer's fault as well as Sylvie's. That's a theory.
It could be. Yeah, it's a good theory. I'm just wondering if this is gonna be a down, like not a downfall or a setback, but like an instant karma. Like I said, like now that she's right there in that chamber of He Who Remains, you know, does that mean that since she's stuck at the end of time, that one of the Kangs is going to show up, or one of the variants? Like they're not calling him Kang, but they're calling him a variant, or He Who Remains, which there's only one He Who Remains, which he's already done.
Possibly.
You know,
It's a
because
good theory.
Again, you know, and see, this is what's making me now like Ant-Man 3 even more, because we saw the end of Ant-Man 3 where we see Immortus, I think it was, which is a variant of Kang, and they said and we see Ramatut, Ramatut, and the other one, the other Kang from like more years, and he's like, so, and how did he tell him? He's like, so he's dead or whatever. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't have called you, and it's like hurts you to think that he's dead, right? And it makes you think that they're telling you that Kang the Conqueror is dead. But what if they're saying that, you know, the exiled one? That's what they said. He said, so the exiled one is dead, huh? It's like, well, I wouldn't have called you if it wasn't true. It's like, oh, it hurts you to think that you didn't kill him, did you? And it's like, the other Morta says, none of us did. They did. They're beginning to touch the multiverse, and if we do not stop them, they will take everything that we have built, right? So for them to say that, it sounds like they're talking about Ant-Man 3 Kang, or Ant-Man 3 the Kang the Conqueror. But what if the exiled one was actually truly He Who Remains, and you know they killed him, is Sylvie and them? And how about, what if the TVA destroying all those branches meant they're beginning to touch the multiverse? What if that's all the meaning of what they're saying in Ant-Man 3 post credits? So that's what's making it more interesting now.
I say in my mind, yeah, JJ, I'm saying a little bit far-fetched, but you could be right. Yes.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, because they said the exiled one is gone.
Just nicely.
Well, I mean, no, that's just my opinion. I mean, I want to hear your opinion and your far-fetched disagreement with me, because this is what this is all about. Nerd talk from the other side of the world is about agreements and disagreements.
Okay. Here you go. Here it is. Here's my thing. I think I you know, again, my opinion on this, you know, it's not a crazy thought, JJ, but it's but you know, along the lines of what I'm thinking, right, is my opinion.
Okay.
Is that, you know, I see this whole storyline and Ant-Man Quantumania, yeah, as a strong link, but I think it's clear cut, and you know, it's a clear cut for me. Like, you know, Sylvie, a remnant of Loki. She's another Loki, right? We've got to that bit, right? So, I think that Kang and the variants are going to be a problem. All variants are going to be a problem. That's the whole kit and caboodle for me. So that's, you know, I don't. What I'm thinking, what you just said was that, is Sylvie a mask in disguise? Is that what you're saying? Is that
no?
Is Sylvie
what
a
I'm
Kang?
saying is that no. What I'm saying is no. What I'm saying is that Immortus, Ramatut, and the other Kang variants that were talking together at the end of Ant-Man 3, we're not talking about Kang the Conqueror being the exiled one. That they're talking about He Who Remains as being the exiled one.
Because he said he was exiled, right? He said he was exiled.
Yes. So Sylvie is the one that they were presumably saying they killed him.
Okay,
I've got you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you now. It's a little bit clearer. Clearer now. It's clearer now. Sorry.
Okay.
I was clouded for a bit there. So.
Okay. So maybe I confused it a little bit, but.
I see. Okay, g'day off-world. Greetings, P.G.M show and JJ. Thanks
Thanks
thank
for
you very
being
much.
here, buddy.
Thank you for being here. But yes, it's a lot more clearer now. Thanks, JJ.
Okay. Cook.
Clouds in my head are just sifted away. Thanks very much.
That,
But
you
sometimes
need to
I
stop
get
playing with that
clouded.
Gandalf magic. That's what I'm gonna tell you right now.
Sometimes my head, ladies and gents, get clouded. My head's on that side.
See, the
When it
force,
should be on that
the
side.
force
Yeah.
clouds his judgment, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
it does.
That's why he got confused.
And yeah, in a lot of ways. That's why I'm 50. That's why I'm 52. I'm getting old.
And you guys are seeing
Um,
JJ was here. You don't know if I'm the variant or not.
yes. But it's a good link up though. I mean, I must say that. I mean, yes, they all three of them, that Trinity, what you saw. That Trinity of those Kangs on different, right. That's interesting because that falls on the side of the Loki show, right? So,
well, didn't they say it was gonna all tie in?
Yeah, it did. I guess you could be right that a Kang would probably show up where Renslayer is, right?
I mean, because they're all three now, right?
Yeah, they are. So, and they're everywhere, right? Right? They're going to be everywhere. So,
what did Doctor Strange say? There was 14,300,000 possibilities or something. So now that means there's 14. Well, -1 or -2 Kangs, which I still don't think Kang the Conqueror from the quantum realm is dead.
No, you could be right. It could be, yeah. I mean, because he's got.
I think he's in the core, shrunken.
Yeah. I agree because he's got to come back, doesn't he? He's got to come back for the Avengers film, right?
So they say. Who knows?
Yeah, it's shoring it up, isn't it? I mean, Quantumania is being shored up. Okay, so multiverse, Doctor Strange and the Multi Madness has been shored up. It's been explained a lot more in Loki and this Loki season. That's really good. I mean, yes, you probably think there's so much exposition have to be told, but it's been told well. I think so.
A lot better, yeah. It's because I think with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, it was just multiverse was just thrown in there without explanations, and maybe there's a reason for that. Because the way it's looking like, it looks like the whole thing with Scarlet Witch, with Agatha Harness, Doctor Strange doing the whole multiverse thing with Spider-Man, Sylvie killing He Who Remains, and then Ant-Man, going into the quantum realm, fighting Kang and doing all that stuff is starting to open up the multiverse more. I don't think it's just Sylvie doing that thing. I think everything else is causing that damage. I think, and I like how, I don't know who did it best, but remember the part where He Who Remains picked up the pin or something and he dropped it and he's like, okay, this changes everything. He started fearing because he knew everything was happening until the time that when he dropped the pin, he was like more afraid because he doesn't know what to expect anymore. I think that's happening because of Doctor Strange mess up because of Spider-Man. I think it's all, America Chavez opening up, multiverses and, Kang being sucked into the core of that time thing. I think really messed up everything to where, he's like, uh-oh, So it is mixing everything.
It's going to be interesting to actually find out what the episode 5 is going to be about. So,
you mean 4?
4? Sorry, 4. Sorry.
Yeah, 4's next. I'm like,
4.
Hey, it's episode 4. What are they doing in New Zealand? That I want to know what happens in 4.
I can't count, JJ. You know that. So,
Are you
uh,
special too?
yeah, probably more special than that.
Me too.
Probably. Um,
Me too.
I'm a special person. Sorry, I'm sorry. Um, uh, that's why I like good scripts like this and good storytelling. It's it's based off a more urgency for Loki and Mobius to get
Yeah.
where they need to go, and Obi needs to get his information. I think the exposition is in the right key. It's not in the wrong key, so to speak, if you get what I mean. I
Yeah.
think the explanation's there. I think um, kind of what I'm saying is that they're not stuffing it up, which is really really great.
That's what I like. So let
um,
me ask you a question here on this. Um, it's actually two questions, I believe, but I forgot the first one. But my second question would be I don't see it. My brain it becomes fart too. Um,
yeah, yeah, it's
so I know
catchy.
that right.
Mm, yeah.
So my question is my second question actually. I'll remember the first if I can. Since I know that they're already saying this is season 2 and the final season. Okay, there was only going to be 2 seasons, but do you honestly think they can continue on the series without Tom Hiddleston Loki and maybe move it forward with Mobius and all these other characters? Because it seems like it's not just about Loki. That's what I like.
Mm.
They're putting Sylvie Loki, Renslayer, Mobius, the one that's in charge of the TVA right now. What's her name? That chick, I forgot her name, but the
Renslayer.
one that they try to. No, not
Oh,
Renslayer. The other chick.
um, the sergeant. Let's call her the sergeant because I
Yes,
forgot.
Sergeant. Yeah, yeah, her.
Uh,
They're getting a lot more of like, and that's what I'm liking. They're putting the supporting characters in more and giving them a little more time to show, like to develop their characters than what had happened in the first one. And it seems more, more emotion, like you say, like and that's what I like. So, really, can we actually have another Loki season 3 without Tom Hiddleston Loki, and maybe make Sylvie as the main Loki? Because it says Loki, but of course, with the timeline open, anybody can be Loki now.
seems a really good idea, but I doubt it, JJ. To be quite honest, that's the short answer. I doubt it. I
Okay,
mean,
all right, just wondering.
I think they could probably get away with doing a season 3 by far.
Okay,
All right. Um, I don't know
okay,
why I don't know why they're ending it at 2. I think it's probably because of what's coming up on the slate. I guess
probably.
with
Oh,
Deadpool
well, here's. I
with
remember
Deadpool
my other question.
with Deadpool 3 coming out. So
Uh-huh.
and that
Oh yeah,
deals with
because it's about time too, right?
so yeah. Yeah.
So here's my other question. Now I remember. It's like a simple one. Did because you know how they did reshoots for Loki season 2 a while back? Were these reshoots done before Bob Iger or after Bob Iger?
Good question. I wouldn't know that. I probably if it was Bob Iger and he said, "Look, to Kevin Feige, we need to do reshoots because something's happened." Maybe when Iger was there, I'm not too certain actually.
Because
Um, to be
I
quite honest with
remember
you,
that there was
if it needed
what?
reshoots, it would be minimal because at the
Well,
moment it's
because
going really well. If something kind
well,
of
they
fell
said
down.
they were gonna do a lot of reshoots because they're gonna try to cut off Jonathan Majors. That's what they said, according to them.
Okay.
But
That would have been
but
when
we
Bob.
saw a whole episode of Jonathan Majors right now. And then my
Yeah,
other thing is the
that was
way that
after. That was when Bob Chapek was in, wasn't it? So yeah, right.
I'm not sure, but the way it
Mm.
seems like it seems like there that these reshoots were done after Iger, I feel that maybe Iger saw a story that wasn't quality over quantity, like you said before,
Probably,
and maybe
probably.
that's why this season is a lot better, a lot fresher, because it seems like it's
Mm.
becoming old MCU again,
Yeah.
in
You
my
could be
opinion.
right. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah. Um, and that happens. That happens because it's money. I mean, Bob Iger, yes, he's losing money hand over fist, right? But he's still in the same vein of coming back and saying that, okay, we need to reshoot because what I saw was crap. Let's reshoot it, right? So
Yeah,
let's make it make sense, okay? You know,
exactly.
let's in some cases that's more money because you're spending it on reshoots, right? But if you're kind of making the story a lot better than it was, and you're cutting out the fat, right, and saying
Yeah,
that we need to do quality and explain it better, why not have reshoots, right? And that's some in some cases, I think Kevin Feige would probably agree with him. So I think, yeah, okay, you're right. It was a bit of a shambles, but now look at it. Now look at it. I
hmm
mean, it's better. It's a better storyline.
I
I think the majority of the storyline for Loki, right, on the outset, whatever you want to say, is good because that was in the can before Loki 1 season 1 finished. Okay, so
hmm
sometimes writers would say, we'll go, okay, we'll write season 1 and then we'll write season 2, right, just to go
yeah,
on, right? So
yeah,
before the before the writer's strike even was on the picket lines, uh, Loki 2, Loki season 2 would have been done and dusted. Okay, the only
yeah,
reason that maybe the reshoots were reshot was probably because they saw something that didn't make sense, so they went back and reshot some stuff to make it look sense, make sense, right? So,
exactly.
um, and you know the score, right? So it's I'm glad they did that, even if Bob Iger wasn't there or he was there. So um, I gathered that would be the case in many scripts, like sometimes like that, when you are dealing with a writer strike, right? They could have the scripts already done before
Yeah,
the web strike even happened, and then they would have actually finished shooting before the writer's strike ever started, right? So that would have been in the can almost. So,
yeah.
right, and then so it doesn't really cause any problem. But when if they came back to reshoot, right, it could be up to the fact that the writer's strike was on, but still, uh, they reshot it anyway, right? So
No,
maybe.
I think these shots were done before writer strikes,
Well, okay, yeah, right. So there. So okay, so the
because they
whole
also
thing,
had the Marvels already done too.
right? So yeah, so that means that, yeah, before the strikes happened, they had the scripts in hand. They shot the film, shot the series before the writer's strike. Okay, when either Iger was there or Iger was present. Okay,
Yeah.
um, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing for us fans, because we get to see that's quality, right? And you're right, that's the old MCU. That's quality. So we're seeing something really good, and it affects the storyline. Okay, and and that's what we need. That's basically what we need. We need that to
hmm
be continued. Okay, so um, uh, so we're gonna have to wait till the Marvels get here to say that what the pundits are talking about, because they're talking about the movie now and it hasn't been out, that it's going to look crap or sound crap or be crap. No one's actually seen it yet. So
No,
we need to actually, I'm going to
I
say
mean
this tomorrow. I'm going to say
they
this.
were talking crap
Hmm,
for Captain Marvel in the beginning when we hadn't
yeah,
even seen it, and then people changed their minds. So
yeah,
I get what
exactly.
you're saying.
So I think for me, I'm going to say this. honestly, I think I'm going to wait until I've seen the movie or watched the movie, right? Okay, because
Yeah,
I can't make a snap judgment on something that I haven't seen, right? And I don't really want to anyway. So to be quite,
I think
um,
honestly, PG, I think the people talking bad about it as crap because a lot of people don't care about Brie Larson. They don't like Brie Larson. So when you hate on somebody, they really, you know,
yeah,
or
well,
dislike somebody, they're saying it's crap. But from what I'm seeing is that some of the trailers are saying that this is making her legendary, and that we're gonna know more about her as well, and that she's moving on from the position, from what I'm
well,
hearing.
yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Yeah, she's made her feelings felt, saying that I don't want to have any more MCU roles, right? So basically, so that's it for Brie Larson, really, to be. So and that is
Which
fine,
kind of,
fine. So
yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks because I was hoping that she would stick around. I don't care about the actress, but I like the way she's been playing Captain Marvel. And I think that she could have been good for being a part of a leadership with the new Avengers or whatever coming up. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, her call, you know.
well, I mean, it's a good. I mean, sometimes for actors' career, they don't want to be pigeonholed too much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Robert Downey Jr. You know, is taking a big break, and Chris Evans is taking a big break, and Jeremy Renner is taking a big break. And oh, I can't wait for the Jeremy Renner to come back to Mirror Kingstown. Yes. Good on you.
Oh, that was a good one. That was
Good
a good,
news.
good show.
Good news. He's coming back for the third season, I think, which is really cool. Anyway, enough of that. I mean, they take a break. They take a break. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is still going. Mark Ruffalo is still in the mix. So
Not much though, but
not much, no. But I
yeah.
mean, the main reason is that I mean, Bob Iger has actually said, and that's the good thing about Bob Iger, is saying that we need quality over quantity for Marvel films, right? Let's get it
Mm-hmm.
back to being the Avengers saga, right? Right. So because that was great,
You
So
think? You think? Now that you mention about Iger, quantity over quality, quality over quantity, and all that stuff, and that people take breaks. I know that she got screwed over, but it was under Bob Chapek. But you think Iger would maybe one day and just ask Scarlett Johansson to come back as a variant of Scarlet Black Widow?
well, the thing's going at the moment, I doubt it really, because the SAG actually went in. If you don't know this, T3 is not in the chat, right? Today. So, SAG, I think they were talking. I don't, they were talk. I think they were talking about going back to work, but they never got a chance to with Bob Iger and Zaslav
Says Lev,
not
yeah.
giving them a decent deal. They kind of closed the doors on that, really, because that's where their main source of acting is sometimes Marvel, and right. So it's a big company. Disney's a multi-million dollar company under Iger. You know that, right?
Yep.
Zaslav is the Prime Video mogul, right? And they're greedy as, and they've shut the doors on SAG actors at the moment. So
Yeah, they
um,
have.
because of the
That's kind of
deals,
sad. Yep.
so, and they're still on the picket lines, JJ. So um, to actually answer the question, it's not anytime soon for Scarlett Johansson.
Well,
Uh,
I'm not asking anytime soon, but do you think it's a possibility that she'll probably
yes,
change her
yes,
mind
realistically, yes.
with
I think
Iger
so.
now
Yes.
being okay?
I mean, there are rumblings. There are rumblings uh, rebooting MCU and having Robert Downey Jr. come back, Chris Evans come back, Scarlett come back, and Renner coming back because they're rebooting. Maybe because of this whole entire saga, right? This multiverse saga. So they're rebooting it and they're making a different a 616 or 66 something like 6. Well, it's a number. It's like a comic book kind of thing, right? So and rebooting it and having all those actors back again as but a different, not a different universe, but a so yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like it's kind of like a reboot, but it's not really a reboot. It's like the multiverse is gonna reboot everything to being back to them again, but in another realm because you can't. I mean, Cap, Tony, and I mean you could still have, because if you think about it, the ones that are still alive are Hulk and Hawkeye, right? Out of the originals.
Hawkeye, Thor's still there.
And Thor, okay, Thor. I forgot. I knew that I was forgetting one more.
Tony died. So Black Widow died. You've got others like Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, but I was talking about the original 6. That's what
original
I was
6.
about.
Yeah. So well, the original 6. You've
There's
got
only 3 left.
Yeah, 3 left. Yeah. So
3 out of the 6.
Yeah, because Vision's gone. So.
Well, he was in original 6.
No. Oh, okay.
If you think it was Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Hulk.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate when they call it a soft reboot because it's either a soft reboot or a reboot. So I think the MCU's got to make up their own mind. So I think I'm going to have to wait for the news if they're going to reboot it or not.
Well, that's if everything gets back to normal, because I mean, there's still a lot of things that we don't know if it's going to play or not. I mean, Now we heard that Thunderbolts is now going to be a series. Is that correct?
Is it? I thought it was going to be a movie.
Well, they said movie first, and then they said they were going to make it into a series.
Okay. So
now I'm hearing. Okay, but see, this is what I'm hearing. First, it was going to be a movie. Now it's going to be a show. But then I'm hearing it's still going to be a movie. We don't know. Then Armored Wars was supposed to be a show, and now they're making it into a movie.
Yeah. So that could be Bob Iger's influence and Kevin Feige's idea, because maybe quality over quantity kind of, so maybe Thunderbolts could be a good series instead of a film, and Armor Wars could be a good movie instead of a series. So that kind of works.
Yeah.
Could say. I would probably rename Armor Wars to something else, maybe War Machine, if that happens, if it's a movie. So I think it could come off the back for Rhodey. It could come off the back of him being rescued from Secret Invasion kind of movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
honestly, they gotta reboot that damn show. I mean, I'm like, this ain't Secret Invasion. I'm sorry. This is more of a scroll war instead.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah. I think I've heard a reason why that happened. I think somebody walked out. I think some writer walked out or something like that. That's why it fell on the ground completely. They had issues. I think they had really big major issues with that. So with the writers on set even as well. So that's why it fell over so much.
But I think the Marvels will tell us a little bit more about that, since Nick Fury is coming out in Marvels.
Yeah, true. It's got to be somewhat of an explanation of what happened. So that,
Yeah, because I
um,
mean I mean, I'm not saying the show was bad. It was okay. It's not as great as like Loki is, but to me, Secret Invasion is actually when the scrolls are already on Earth, which this is kind of like what's happening, but we don't just see Rhodey and Martin or whatever Martin's character is being used for the bodies of the scrolls. I mean, all other characters were scrolls. I mean, we
yeah,
didn't know if Spider Man
mm,
was a scroll. We didn't know if Iron Man was a scroll. I mean, I think there was
yeah,
a variant. I don't know if it was a variant issue or like a variant cover, or it was the main cover where we see Iron Man's helmet, but we see the chin of a scroll.
yeah. It entirely kind of made really no sense in the last few episodes. Really, uh, I gather, I really much gather that it could have been something really, really good, like a spy espionage kind of deal, and it just
Mm-hmm.
turned out to be a hell of a mess, to be quite honest with you.
True.
Um, uh, and to actually have Rhodey and uh, Ross come out of
There you go,
a
Ross.
huge coma almost, and have the explanation of other YouTubers saying that Rhodey was in that kind of stasis almost for years from Civil War. That would be 5 years. He would have been in that stasis for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he would have been a scroll all along in some stages, and then
Including Winter and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yeah,
We don't know if
exactly.
that was really
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. So, and then him playing a bad a bad guy and Secret Wars didn't make any sense for me. And then him getting outed as a scroll. So it didn't really connect for me, to be quite honest with you.
No,
So
it didn't.
um, I think they made it. I, I think the truth be known. I think people did walk out. Maybe there was some disagreements or something like that. Um, yeah, it's a shame. That's all I say. It's a shame. So, well, yeah, we'll have to wait for the Marvels to actually come out and see what Nick Fury will say about that. Now that he's back in space somewhere.
Well, I don't think
Um,
he's back in space. I mean, well,
uh, um, who
yeah, he
knows?
is, but
Yeah. So who knows?
but in the Marvels trailer, he's in Earth.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
Okay.
one of the trailers, you see him walking with a group of people, looking up, waiting. I don't know if he was waiting for Captain Marvel or what, but I mean, we'll find out. I mean,
We'll find it. We'll find out. Um, okay. But anyway, good episode of Loki 3. We just
episode 3.
kind of went off onto MCU stuff, but check Loki if you haven't. It's a brilliant series. Fantastic. Can't wait for episode 4. Is it 4 or 3? 4. 4.
4.
4.
4.
There we go. 4. See, I can count. Um, so now,
Or like in football, fourth down, 4. 4.
yeah, I said something about Lucas on Star
Yeah,
Wars. I
you
want to
did.
kind of retract a wee bit of wee bit of my a little bit of a statement. Yeah, um, uh, have seen Star Wars a number of times, and I thought the acting was. I thought the acting was all right. I think they did actually show emotion in some of the scenes in Star Wars. So, and I actually said that George Lucas, yes, he didn't like directing, but in any cases, I think Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and all those actors did a fine job in creating some emotion in that, and it was coming off the back of a discussion that when he did the prequels and when you saw Ewan McGregor having cheesy lines or having Hayden Christensen be monotoned in his acting ability. Uh, that's what I don't think people like that much. And then seeing him in Ahsoka being a really good actor, because really, Hayden Christensen is a very good actor, and so is Ewan McGregor and everyone else. So
Yep.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna retract what I said about Star Wars and George Lucas. I'm gonna say that George Lucas, yes, he didn't like directing. Star Wars is brilliant, and that I think Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher is brilliant. And some scenes when you saw they were invoking emotion in that scene. Anyway, then there we go. I mean, that's all I say. So, sorry, George Lucas and the Star Wars fans. I'm a big fan of George Lucas. Always will be. Anyway, that's a bit of a retraction from me. So that's what I say.
Bad PG. Bad PG. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Um, um, but yeah, so yeah. Oh, let's go to a completely different thing. You were going to actually, you're probably going to fill me in of the New York Comic Con, because I really didn't really see too much. Just that Giant Man thing, and I saw an interview on Giant Man.
I actually, that's all I saw. I did see a little bit more stuff of unique different types of figures that are coming out. They put more effort into other new companies that are coming out, but really I think the one that really brought out more for New York Comic Con was this just the Giant Man and some of the Hot Toys. I mean, one of the things I was excited about for Hot Toys was that they're bringing out the Back to the Future 3 DeLorean. So since I have the Back to the Future 3 Marty and Doc Brown, it'll be nice to get that DeLorean for those two figures. But other than that, I didn't get to see much of anything else. It didn't seem like New York Comic Con was as exciting as people wanted it to be, like San Diego Comic Con, which, I mean, to me, New York Comic Con is like your conference championships before heading to the Super Bowl. So I don't know if maybe
there was too many reveals. There wasn't really too many new reveals.
No, there wasn't, and it was like Funko Pops and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just thought that it could have been a little bit better to where they had shown it off like how they did with San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah,
it seemed like the New York Toy Fair showed a lot more than what New York Comic Con did. I don't know. Maybe that's what affected it, because they had the New York Toy Fair a week before New York Comic Con.
Yeah, that's the reason, isn't it? Really, I mean, San Diego.
I think that really messed it up, So
yeah, San Diego shot their load, didn't they? Really? So sorry, shot their load before New York could.
Well, again, you had the New York Toy Fair a week before New York Comic Con, so that also shit the load on them too, So, I just think also with right and not I know that New York Comic Con is starting to come around more, but it's still not like I mean, we've heard San Diego Comic Con for years. New York Comic Con was around, but it wasn't as top notch like now. Like, it's starting to come around, but with the the ZAG strikes, it kind of messes it up still. And I just think that that not a lot of people did a little. I mean, some people went. A lot of people went, but I don't think it was a big emphasis on showing what's going on than people actually going in and seeing what they had. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. I know that there's a gentleman by the name of RG who actually
RG. I met RG.
He got the autograph of Inosanko or whatever, the one that played Marisbeth or Morgan Elsbeth from
okay, all right,
Luca.
all right.
He got his signature. So I mean, there was some good positivities to it, but to know what really came out, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I mean, it
Was
sucks
that
that
Giant Man really was the showcase, really, wasn't it? The Giant
well,
Man.
in a way it was, but I mean, it didn't really get the push it wanted. Like, I thought it would, but I mean, from what I'm seeing, and I'll show you right now, or I'll tell you right now, we're at less than 3 days now, and they're barely at 6,810, meaning they need at least 3,190 to just back it. I know that in like the last few hours, the less than 24 hours, you get people to back it, and like I have a feeling it's still gonna get back. I don't know why. I
Morgan
think
Le
at the end
Fay.
of it,
Matt. It's Morgan Le Fay. It's not Morgan from Walking Dead. Sorry.
no, Morgan, no, was it LaFay? I thought it was
Oh shit! Was it?
Morgan
Oh fuck! I don't know. I forgot.
Lesbeth or something. Elsbeth. I think Morgan Le Fay is from your Marvel vs. Capcom,
That's the
or is that
one. I don't know.
Morgana?
I don't know. You confuse the crap out of me, Max. Matt.
That's not
Matt,
my fault. Did you just peso?
Matt. Matt's got a question for you. Matt's got a question for
Okay.
you. So,
Do
do
you
you collect
collect Motu new or vintage, JJ?
Motu? Yeah, yeah,
Um,
Motu. Master
right
of
now,
Universe.
are you talking about the retro line or the Masterverse line? Because I collect the Masterverse line.
Right.
Vintage. If I want vintage, I'll go looking for vintage, which I've seen He-Man vintage figures, not the complete set, but just whatever it is. For cheap. I do have a few. I have like one or two vintage ones. I have a Cobra Khan and Mothman. I have those two, but I mean, I can get those easily,
That
or
answers your
I can get
question,
any
Matt.
vintage easily.
So, and no, it's not from The Walking Dead. It's sorry. Um, I've been focusing on editing and only half listening the whole time. Oh well, I don't care, Matt. You should have been here the whole time. You really shouldn't have been the whole time. No excuses.
let him ed- let him
Uh,
edit his stuff.
so,
But yeah, I mean, we're at.
been missing Linda for what 2 weeks now.
I know, but I
Really?
wonder what's going on with her. She's probably taking a break. So right now with the Giant Man, we have 2 days, 23 hours and 16 minutes. So I'm thinking once it's less than 24 hours, it's gonna actually get backed. I don't think we're gonna hit any of the other tiers, but we'll find out. I mean, it's getting close. I told some of the people like about a week, well, in on the Undisputed, I think we were at about 500 something, the 5,000 something, and I said if it hits over 6,000 something within the next 2 days, 3 days, I have a feeling. Uh, no, you stay, KOC. Um, I care. He doesn't care, but I care. um, I said that if it goes over 6,000 something in the next few days, I think it'll get back. Right now, like I said, it's just barely less than 3 days. If they hit 7,000 within a day or two, I have a feeling that it will get back. I still have faith that it will get back. Now, getting the
Oh,
tiers, it's not.
well, remember that um, some of the HasLabs, right? You know,
Yeah.
you know, uh, were so really slow to get back, and then bang, right
Um,
out of nowhere, it gets back. I
the
think it
ghost.
was the Ghost. Yeah, incredible,
Well, the ghost
incredible.
got back. The ghost
Yeah.
got back, but
So
like around the time it barely made it to get. I think Ezra was the first tier, and then it was Kanan Jarrus, and then Zeb, and it looked like there was no way in hell they were gonna reach to Zeb. And all of a sudden, within the last few hours, boom, all tiers were back. And I'm like, holy moly, like, wow, that's great. And I think what happens is that a lot of people want to make sure that at the end that they're like, okay, I think it's gonna make it to the next tier, or it's gonna get backed. I'm gonna back it, so it starts encouraging people to start backing things. With the Giant Man, since the tiers are not that great to some people, which I think having a scroll face and a zombie face is awesome. I hope they get backed. I doubt it. I think,
I think
like I
you should
said,
put a morphing effect. I think they should put a small Ant-Man, right? Morphing effect up to
well, that's what they should have
um,
done, but it didn't seem like it.
the
Like
Giant Man. So
I think people would like the zombie face plate. So that one I can see happening. It's at 12,000 backers. I can see that one maybe getting tiered, unlocked. But the one for the scroll, which is 14,000 backers, I really don't think it's gonna hit. I really don't.
well, you could be right. You could be right. It's like watch the space, really, isn't it, JJ, for this, for this. So, I think it's outstanding. If it doesn't get back, it's outstanding. I mean, even this big human HasLab action figure from I think it's amazing what they did with the eyes, right? Having realistic eyes, I think it's great. The
Yeah,
stitching, even the stitching of with his cowl with Giant Man's cowl, impressive, really. I mean, it's I would really hate to see it not getting backed because it is an impressive figure, action figure. So
it is a very impressive figure. I think for the price, I think it's fair. 200. I think it's fair for it for being what 2 feet tall. I think it was. They said it was. Let me
just
see.
under the Sentinel, isn't it? Just under the height of the Sentinel.
It's 24 feet tall. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's 2 feet. So that's, I mean, that's not bad at all for being.
Not
I
bad
mean,
at all.
I
Mm.
I even think it's gonna look better next to the 3 3/4 inch figures instead of the 6 inch figures.
Sorry, JJ and Pete, I have to bail. I have to go.
You take care, KOC. Thank you so much
Yeah, go and
for
smoke that
being there.
weed there, Matt. Plants and plants. Right.
We
Yeah.
will, brother. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think it's gonna look a lot better. I think it'll look a lot better next to a 3 3/4 inch. Um, instead of a 6 inch figure. Because I'm seeing here of an example, and a 6 inch figure looks like he'll reach the knees. So I can just imagine a figure at least 2.5 inches smaller, and it's gonna be like by the ankle area. And I think that would be more of a giant man than just a giant man next to a 6 inch figure.
The thing is that they didn't that photographer didn't that photographer actually do a lot of good shots with Giant Man and the Avengers below him. That was quite cool. That was effective, So,
Yeah.
um, if you're bored
They're
in
bored
4
in 4 hours.
hours, say hi in our live stream. Nah. Sorry.
I'll
I'm
more than
only,
likely be up for 4 hours. If in 4 hours more, I'll join, or I'll participate in the chat with you guys for sure.
I'm just joking, Matt. Not really, but I'm just so, um, yeah. Thanks, Matt, for actually plugging your live stream on our live stream. That was just nice and rude. That really isn't it? Typical freaking Australian. um, have a good day planting your plants. Get those greens going, mate. So,
Are we
um,
talking about planting plants, or are you gonna plant another plant that creates life?
no, he's talking about weeds, aren't you? The weed,
Oh,
the green stuff,
life
the green
finds
stuff.
its way. KOC.
The,
That's all I want to say. Life finds a way.
the Snoop Dogg stuff, so,
Ah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh, plant plant new plants, Jojo. Plant new plants.
Plant new plants. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, ooh.
Okay, well there you go. Giant Man's got to be back in what 3 days? So
Hopefully in
uh,
3 days, but I mean, more than likely.
So
I mean, because there's some other stuff here that has been backed. I mean, shows the HasLab GI Joe, the HasLab Proton Pack, the Hiss, Deathosaurus, the Dragonfly, the Ghost now, and now hopefully Ant-Man gets back. That's what they're hoping for. I really do want
I wouldn't
Marvel to
mind it.
be.
I wouldn't
I
mind it,
would like
JJ.
Marvel to be 3 out of 4 with their
Mm.
HasLabs. I mean, know that the Robbie Reyes one didn't make it, and I understand, but I don't want to see these HasLab fails. But I mean, in a way, I would like to see them succeed, but in a way, I don't. And the only reason why is because I feel like if they succeed, we get to have that figure that we want. Plus, it's limited. You don't get many of them. But I don't want it to succeed because then they can say, well, we can go this route by making these vehicles or making these characters with a lot more money, and we don't have to worry about retail, and people are going to buy. And that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, to be quite honest with you, JJ, I wouldn't mind it in my collection, even if it costs more here in New Zealand, because I mean, to have a giant man in your collection, if you've got the Avengers like the Incredible Hulk,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I mean, that would be great because you've just actually you've got all the Avengers there, right? Even Giant Man,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So
yeah,
that would be a
exactly.
great addition to your collection, right? So
I don't
why
mind it at all.
I mean, I would love that because I would love to have um, Hulk, right, battling alongside Giant Man and the other Avengers, MCU, right, with a Sentinel or Galactus, right, or something like that. You know,
Which, of course, they did make the Galactus HasLab, so
yeah,
and that got backed.
did. I think it's great. I think the eye idea was brilliant to actually have realistic eyes. You know, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why people complain so much. I mean, yes, taking the faceplate out of Giant Man's right that causes doesn't cause any problem to me. I think that's ingenious. Right, you've done it in
Well, I
other
mean,
so um,
I mean, I like the 91 points of articulation,
oh yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, I
especially
mean,
that it has 29 in the hands itself. Like,
and
wow,
fingers.
like
Stuff like that. You've got you like you've just mentioned a separate what is it, skull head as well. So
zombie
uh,
head
yeah,
or a
g'day
zombie faceplate.
Dan, how's it
Hey,
going?
at 5, how you doing?
Um, just missed Matt. Dan, he's off to plant some uh, green smoking leaves, Snoop Dogg leaves. So
Still
just
waiting on you to message me so your address so I can send it off. You know what I'm
there you
talking
go.
about?
Yeah. Say it again, JJ, because probably missed that. So, um,
No worries.
yeah. um, F5, yeah, F5. G'day, KOC. Well, he's gone, so you just missed him. He's planting some plants. Yeah, I think it's a great idea for your collection. For if you're an MCU guy, right, comic guy, I think it's a great idea to have
I
that
like
as
it.
that. So,
I
um,
mean, I backed it already.
yeah. Oh, good, great. You'll get we'll get to see it when you when it
If
gets
it gets
back.
backed, hopefully it
So,
does. Hopefully it
yeah.
does. I
Um,
mean, because there's that one, and then okay, so here's my thing. I'm not gonna be sad about it if it doesn't get backed. Yeah, I'll be like, oh man, like it didn't get backed, which I get that it sucks that it doesn't get back because I would like it. I was even pulling for the Rancor, even though I didn't jump on it. I was pulling for the Rancor. I think the only HasLab figure I didn't or anything HasLab that I didn't back was the Reva lightsaber. I thought that was
well,
ridiculous.
yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
looking at the Super 7. Um, I'm looking at Super 7, and they're actually making the mothership for GI Joe, the
Hang on.
Cobra mothership. Oh,
Oop, what's
what's
it?
that lightness? Hold on. Gonna
Crap.
get it. Oh, I know what. Hold on. There we go. So this is the the mother Cobra mothership for Super 7, and they're actually doing it for
Yes.
their they're doing it
Is it
for their 3 3/4 inch retro
Snake?
action figures.
Is it Snake
Hmm.
or something like that?
What do you mean?
Sorry, just to answer this question. HasLab, MCU HasLab,
It's
Dan,
the
is
Giant Man. It's the
Giant Man.
Giant Man, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, this one here you're talking about, is that the snake head?
No, this is
Oh,
the mothership of Cobra. It's this.
oh,
It's
right,
It
right,
comes out in the intro of GI Joe, and it's for Super 7,
right. Yeah.
and they're
Okay.
making it for their 3 3/4 inch retro figure, their retro action figures. But if I
Right,
want to back that up or back it, I'll use it for my vintage figures.
right.
Which, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad, but it's a big son of a gun. I mean, it's a massive 32 inches in diameter. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, John. I will get that to you.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that. Yeah, that HasLab's come out, isn't it? So people are talking about
and then
that now.
this is
Um,
how what it tells you right there how big this one is. 32.3 inches in the width part. I mean that's almost 3 feet.
it's quite big, isn't
So
it? It's quite big.
it's
Quite big,
it's a big sucker. Yeah, it's big.
even for a
But
three and
I'm
three
like I said,
quarter.
yeah. Well, it's not for the. It's not for the. It's not for their ultimate line.
Yeah,
It's for
right.
their
O-ring line, is
for
it
their
from the
little
O-ring?
3 3. Huh?
Three and three quarters O-ring, isn't it? It's gotta be, huh?
No, not they don't do O rings. They do kind of like the old school Kenner figures.
Right, right.
Let
Okay.
me let me
Okay.
fix this sucker.
Um. I got you. Sorry, not up to speed on that last couple of weeks. Been flat out. So, what do you mean there, Ed? What do you mean there?
There we go.
Is that you saying about the HasLab? So yes. Thing is with HasLabs, I mean, this is the strong kind of conversation with HasLabs. They come at a inconvenient time sometimes, right around Christmas time. It's, so
Sometimes, yeah, not all the time. It
not all
just
the time, but yeah,
I think sometimes it's bad marketing that they do. Um, you see mostly the marketing happening well when there's something out, like the Ghost. I think the Ghost got back because of Ahsoka.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Another example, the Proton Pack for um. Oh no new announcements yet, Ed. The
If
Proton
you,
Pack
oh, okay, cool.
was during Ghostbusters Afterlife. You know, GI Joe, of course. I mean, there's nothing going on with GI Joe, but since it's 6 inch figures, everybody would like a 6 inch vehicle or a vehicle for their 6 inches. So that's where they're where they can actually push. Um, Transformers. Everybody's always looking for Transformers, and if you put out a new Transformer or a big ass Transformer like Unicron, I think it goes. I
Oh,
mean, with
Unicorn,
Marvel, well,
huge.
Unicron was big, yeah. Marvel, if they just stick with big figures like the way they did Sentinel, Galactus, and hopefully this Giant Man, I think it's gonna succeed
Oh
for
yeah,
them.
yeah. I
I
mean,
know that I know T3 doesn't agree with me on this, and that's his opinion. But in my opinion, right
it's
now
not.
you're
He's
bringing
not in the
out.
chat. He's not in the chat, JJ.
Well,
So
if
you
he
see,
is, he is,
you're
and if
right.
he,
You're fine. You're fine.
I don't, well, it doesn't matter. It's his opinion. This is my opinion. Because he says, why would anybody want that? Nobody's talking about that. And it's like, okay, maybe nobody's talking about it, but with the upcoming X-Men 97 series, I would love for them to make a giant size Apocalypse. I know in the comics he didn't grow much, but in the shows he did, and
I'm
just
just.
to
Oh,
make
I'm just waiting
and to
on. I'm
make
just
him
waiting on Dan to say is that's what she said. Sorry, go on, go on. So, um,
One of the things you can do as an early bird special, if you want to, is bring out another. I know there's a lot of them already out there, but you can bring out another archangel, but the one from the
right,
cartoon, and then
right.
your tiers can be those four horsemen. I think it'll make it. If not, make Fing Fang Foom. We haven't seen Fing Fang Foom in a while.
Yeah,
He was a
yeah.
Build-A-Figure. You could make a bigger one. If
Wasn't
not, make a
wasn't there
Celestial.
wasn't there rumblings? Wasn't there rumblings that they were going to make Fing Fang Foom, but
So
something
they say, but I don't know how true that is.
something fell down. Maybe. I think it was. I think it was because they didn't like using the word Fing Fang Foom
So they're
anymore.
gonna name
So,
it the whatever dragon from like Shang-Chi, because I know that
yeah,
according to that it was supposed to be Fang Fang Foom, and then they call it something else, something
that's
dragon,
right.
the
Yeah.
sacred dragon or something like that.
So even if they call
I
it
don't know
that,
what the hell.
dragon, just get it out and yeah. So
Well, that's its original name is Fing Fang Foom. I don't see the
it
big
is.
deal.
It is. You know what woke people are like, right? So,
Get the hell out of here with that.
so I won't go there. Not going to go there on this discussion. No, no, no. But no, I mean, let's go right back around to New York Comic Con again and say, look, there weren't really big new reveals, really. So it's a bit of a shame that because I'm going to choke on my own words.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego kind of had more reveals than probably New York did, because so it's a bit of a shame. Um, uh, uh, yeah, so we're kind of I think because San Diego is first, right? Then it's New York.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, in my mind, JJ, I'm going, yeah. Well, thing is, San Diego, you're first, and you get the new reveals, and then it goes to New York, and we're getting the same reveals. It makes it a moot point, doesn't it? Really. um, uh, is there enough time between drinks, let's say, on getting new stuff for New York Comic Con into place for the fans? That's the question.
yeah.
Do you reckon,
I'm not
JJ?
sure. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that answer.
Well,
Now I'm trying to
that's
look for reveals, and I don't see any reveals. So,
yeah, that's the
um,
answer, isn't it? That's the answer. There's no new reveals at New York Comic Con because they've all been
no.
shown at San Diego Comic Con, right?
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
thing, no, I mean, because the difference is there's always going to be exclusives for New York Comic Con that are just New York
Right.
Comic Con, and then
Okay.
there's going to be
Sorry.
exclusives for Sunday.
Right.
So what I see right now with reveals is that it's mostly like comic books. They did have a few people from the actors, not from the SAG, but just actors that came in. They were talking about more about like Walking Dead, where they're going with that, and just you name it, other stuff that's coming out like House of Dragon, Doctor Who, of course your Pokemon
Right.
stuff, your Funko stuff,
Yeah.
your fake pins, all this stuff that I really don't care to um pick up. McFarlane, of course, it's always reveals of the new stuff that we've already seen or that's going to be repainted and be a different type of variant. Of course, like you said, the giant man. Like I told you, what my part was exciting was the freaking Back to the Future three DeLorean. I think that's gonna be great. Um, but other than that, I mean, I didn't hear. It was like quiet for New York Comic Con.
Yeah. That's probably why
Very
I did
quiet.
kind of
I heard more.
not
I
get
heard more
anything
things
kind of
in New York Comic Con and Ted 2, the movie, than what this Comic Con had.
yeah. It's it was do you think it wasn't really quite off the mark this year because of
Well, I don't
uh,
think didn't realize what to do and they weren't prepared. Like
right?
they should,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
whoever is in charge of New York Comic Con should have seen what San Diego did, and they should have just picked up that blueprint and continue it on like that.
right. Yeah,
Plus,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they
You're
should
right.
have.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So
I,
yeah, they weren't
I
prepared
think
enough.
they should have seen that New York Toy Fair was before them a week before. They should have moved up theirs before New York Toy Fair, and maybe that would have helped them out.
Right.
I mean, because
Yeah.
to me, I heard more about New York Toy Fair than what I heard of New York Comic Con, and I was waiting for New York Comic Con, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" I wasn't impressed.
No. Yeah. And not a lot. I got to say that JJ, there was a lot of YouTubers that I saw talking or going around New York Comic Con this year. That much, they were there. They were there, but I didn't really see all that many. I mean, I saw the interview with MCU and Giant Man off a YouTube guy, but that's all I saw. So, um, yeah. So maybe it's just ill preparedness, or maybe they were prepared and not prepared. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, JJ, should we call it there
Sure, I
for
don't
this
mind
week?
it at all. We gotta wait for
Mm,
season 4. I need
Season
to
four.
get into the day. Which I am gonna order my Prime this weekend, and I will get to see Gen V because I know that it got renewed for season 2. So that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's telling me right there
Um,
that show's got to be great.
yeah. Um, also, a note: if you haven't seen The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, go and watch it. It is brilliant. Um, I think for mine, because I really didn't really get into Walking Dead because there was so damn many of them. I'm getting into Daryl Dixon.
What do you mean
I don't know
so
what
damn
it is.
many of them? What do you mean so
Yeah,
damn many of
exactly,
them?
exactly right. Yeah,
There was
bang
only
on.
one. There was only one until Fear the Walking Dead came out, and then
Yeah,
they made the
uh,
what is it called? Walking Dead, the Worlds Beyond. And then now
yeah.
then they made. I
Um,
didn't even know they were making a Daryl Dixon Walking Dead, and then they made what is
New
it?
York,
Dead City.
yeah, New York, yeah, with
Well, it's
Megan,
Walking Dead City with wait
Megan,
with
yeah,
Thomas and Martha
yeah,
Kent over
yeah.
there.
But the thing is that Daryl Dixon Walking Dead is brilliant because it's set in Europe, and it's got
Oh,
a
because
really
he went to Europe.
yeah. He went to Paris. He's in Paris, so he got
I
shipped.
didn't know that.
He got captured. He got captured. Um, he got captured by people on, and then shipped off to. He was on a tanker, well, not a tanker, but he was on a ship. But they were all full of zombies in cages, and they were right. So and it got shipwrecked because you're gonna have to see it. I mean, I'm not explaining it
So
that well, but so
did
um,
he get captured in the last final season of Walking Dead?
yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he got
Well,
captured
then
along with.
I gotta finish Walking Dead because I think I finished at season
Uh,
9.
I think where it was like they were telling a bit of Daryl's story where Daryl was in a encampment, right, and he was helping these guys capture zombies, right, The Walking Dead in America, right, and he
Mm-hmm.
was helping this young guy, this uh, young guy, because he wanted this young guy wanted to help all these guys capture, right, because they were shipping these zombies off to Europe or off to experiments, right, off to on the tanker, right, on the tanker. So, thing is that Daryl Dixon got into a scuffle, right, with this other guy, right, okay, okay, in this encampment, and they both got exiled from the camp. The thing is that they got captured by the guys running this boat, and they were shipping these zombies to Europe because it was a Europe
Uh-huh.
kind of boat, right? So things happened, right? And Daryl Dixon got out of the cage that he was captured in, right? All hell broke loose on the ship, right? Where this other guy escaped with him, because these guys were feeding the humans captors to the zombies, right?
Zombies.
For food, right? To keep them alive, right? And the thing is that Daryl was next to be fed, right? But he kind of played kind of possum, right? And then made all this ruckus, right? Got out of his chains and stuff like that, and threw a captor into the zombie, right, pit, right, cage,
Okay.
right, and he got away with this other guy, but the other guy got captured by this really fast zombie, right, because they were experimenting on zombies on the ship as well. Okay, so and this was bound to go to Europe, this ship, right? So it ended up with Daryl Dixon jumping off the ship, right, and ending up in Paris, right? So he's in Paris
Wow.
now. He was in Europe. Okay, so it's really good. It is really good because it involves this young kid being kind of almost I hate to say this, a messiah type kind of character, right? So and Daryl Dixon is saved by nuns, right? Right, and reluctantly, Daryl Dixon is helping this woman, this nun, and this kid, so he can get to where he needs to go, and he wants to go home, okay, because he misses his family in the States. But it's brilliant. It's well shot. It's well shot. It's well done. It has an air of The Last of Us.
That's what I was about to ask you, if it's kind of like
Yes.
Last of Us.
Yeah, chef's kiss. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's filmed well. But I think I'm hoping and praying JJ is not going to go for about 2,700 seasons like on The Walking Dead.
Well, hey, Walking Dead was just following the comics in a certain point of view, but it's not like the comics, you know. And yeah, I mean, my thing is, yeah, you know, I'm surprised that the Walking Dead universe is still going, because it kind of died out already.
Yeah,
Hopefully, hopefully Daryl Dixon or Daryl Dixon Walking Dead will bring it back. I don't know anything about Dead City. I don't know if it was great or not. I hope it is, but I'm thinking that people are just getting tired of Walking Dead.
the thing is that I really I'm going to chuck a recommendation for you, JJ. Watch Daryl Dixon's Walking Dead, because it's different than what you saw
Regular
before.
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Okay. No, and I am, because I trust your I trust your judgments and everything, and I'm gonna do it because, I mean,
produced and Norman Reedus, produced. He's one of the producers.
like a lot of these actors are becoming executive
Yeah,
producers or producers for their thing.
yeah.
So, but
Anyway,
yeah, I'll check it out.
check it out. But anyway, JJ, it's been good again.
Yes,
Just actually
can't wait for next week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you haven't caught the whole live stream, check it on replay. We've talked about Loki season 2, episode 3. Waiting for episode 4. Brilliant. JJ got his ultimate wish as to Victor Timely coming on board for the season, episode 3. So you called it, JJ. It was here. He was here.
Time is everything. It shapes us. He did great. I love Jonathan Majors. He did great.
He likes Dead City as well. I haven't seen that. But we're going to call it here for today. Thank you for joining us, Matt, KIC, Dan's good to see you. Rolando, if you're watching, thanks for joining in. What was it? The other guy that I keep on forgetting, was it Off-World
Adam.
Off-world Adam. Sorry, off-world Adam. Oh God. Thank you for joining us. Catch us on the replay, of course. We're going to be here every week because Loki is on every week, and of course when JJ gets going with his prime, we'll be talking about GMD. That's interesting. So and
yeah,
and I'll allow him some time for catching up because I've seen some good series Gen V. If you didn't catch that, also it's on Prime. It comes off the was it forgetting it
Amazon,
but the
Prime,
boys,
The Boys. It's
the
a
boys.
spin-off of The Boys.
That's the one. That's where I was going. God, my brain needs the break.
My brain too.
But we've talked about but anyway, we'll talk about Star Wars as well. My little bit of a retraction there. Want to have a look at that. New York Toy, awesome. We've talked about that. But stay tuned with these guys. You may remember these guys, and you certainly will with what I'm just going to do here. Nerd Talk with JJ and PGM. Singer, and also before we go, probably haven't you can catch us up on the updates for that show, JJ, for your fantasy football league.
Sure. What's going on right now is actually last week I did win. I went against Ed Guardardo, who is actually Hulk Smash Toys in YouTube. I hate saying it, but I beat him pretty badly going. So I was in first place. He was in second place.
Just say it, JJ. You beat his.
No, I don't like saying that, but I went up to being 5-1. He went down to sixth place, which he has a 4-2 record, which is not a bad record. So right now, if standings go from 1 through 8, the ones that in regular season ended right now, I would be in the playoffs. Middle Age Outlaws, who I'm playing next, would be in the playoffs. He's in second place right now. The only reason he's in second place is because the wins is what counts first, and then whoever's tied, it'll be the fantasy points, which he's only beating me by 8 points in fantasy league. So if he wins, he'll get number 1, and then I'd probably get knocked down to number 2 because I have I'm in second place of fantasy points. But I'm number 1 because I'm 5-1. Wolfpack, he's at number 3. Beastie Radios is at number 4. My cousin Dealer's at number 5. Vegas Raiders of the Lost Ark, who was in second place. He would be in the playoffs still. How I Metcalf Your Mother, that's T3 Collects. He's in 7th place, and then Cody, who's Cobb's Collectibles in YouTube. He's 3-3 with being at 8th place. So right now, if that ended, we would all be in the playoffs. Those 8. I would be going again. Then it goes from 1st seed through 8th seed. So I would be going against Cody. Right now, there's other teams that are out of contentions of the playoffs, but they're in the hunt for the playoff for that final spots. Clink, Max Meadows Magicians, Darth Blaze, and MCT Dog. They're both all those 4 are from 9th place to 12th place. they're actually 3-3 right now. So their next big win, if they go against somebody in the tops, they can actually jump into the playoffs. Um, Millennium Workshop, who's Rex, he's at 2-4. He still has a chance to still making it in playoffs. Call Me Snake and Yukon Phil are at 1-5. That's where we kind of see that it's slowly getting to the point where a few more losses and they're probably out of the playoffs, playoff contention. And then at 16th place, which I really feel bad for, poor guy, Gilster, known as Gangsters, is 0-6. He hasn't won a game. I think that if he gets his first win soon, he could probably change things around and come back. I mean, all it takes is a win, and once you get that rhythm going, I mean, he can go 8-6 and make it into the playoffs, or 9-6 and be in the playoffs if he has an 9-game winning streak and other people lose.
Come
But
on,
right
Gilston.
now, what it looks like is one or two more losses and he's out. He's done. He will not have a chance for playoff contentions. Yukon Phil and Call Me Snake, if they lose two more, I think they're out. All Millennium Workshop, he still has a real good chance to still gain some wins and probably make it a top 8. All these other guys that are 3-3, they're all shooting for 8th, 7th, and 6th and fourth spot maybe. I mean, so it's like I told Ed Guadardo, these next two games, week 7 and week 8, depending on how you win or not. Yes, Ed 5. This is the fantasy football league, and the one I'm doing, where I my cousin and I are co-commissioners. If like, let's say if I go 7-1, I think that already solidifies me that whatever place I rank and more, I can have like one or two more losses and then still win a few more. I'm already in the playoffs. My thing is, I'm scared of being number one, because every time I'm at number one and I stay at number one, and we go into the playoffs, I get kicked out in the first round. So being number one is my bad luck. I don't know why. It always happens. Always. I could be number one and boom. But if I'm between 4, 5, and 6, if I'm in that area gap, most of the times I have that chance to actually win the whole thing. I don't know why. It's weird how it goes, but it is what it is. I am playing other fantasy leagues and other leagues, of course. I'm playing also in Darth Blaze's league, and I'm actually number one in that league.
Right.
I'm playing in Mark's league, in the NFL fantasy league, because the one I do is Yahoo. But
Right.
the one in Mark's league, I'm like bad. I'm in 16th place. I'm 1-5. I have
Is
a
that
5
Blue
game
Harvest?
losing streak.
Is
Huh?
it Blue Harvest? Mark Blue Harvest? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not doing great at all in this league, and I'm in 16th place. The only reason um I'm in 16th place in that one is because this other guy, dude's nerdery, he's not
Oh,
even
yeah.
playing really in this league anymore. He's 1-5. I think I have more points than him now. Let me see. I have 741. Dude has 661. That's the only reason that I break the tiebreaker, because I have more points than him. And see, that's weird because I have 741 points, so I'm doing good. And the reason I'm not really last is because don't be not Monkey Lizard Army, or Monkey Lizard Eye Pluckers. He's 0-6.
Is that Salacious? Is that?
Yeah, yeah.
God. Typical bloody Salacious having a strange plucking name. So
But
I bet
he's not
that's
even
sexual
playing.
innuendo. I bet that's
Huh?
sexual innuendo. Oh God, yeah.
Well, I mean, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I mean, I'm not giving up. I mean, I know
No,
that
no, don't give up. Don't give up, mate.
a lot of
Don't give
people. I know that a lot of people, when they already bad record, they intend to give up. I'm still changing my players. I'm still going to try to do my best. And I mean, I don't have bad players, but they're just not producing like they should. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Well,
It
it's all
just
about
that's the way it goes.
the fun, though, isn't it? It's all about the fun. So that's the main
Yeah.
aim. It's all about the fun. So, um, join JJ and his fantasy football league. I will be running his the promo each week and whenever we are on and whenever it is going. He has fun. Everybody's having fun. I think. Don't want to talk for anybody else, or anybody else's mouth. But join JJ in his fantasy football league and. Yes, and I'm on a few days away from that. And enjoy the two comments. No level on topic of your I'm listening to this and myself, the P.G.M. on the two comments. Come gather around in the chat. Enjoy. Yeah, I am back. Yes, well, I'm back with Salacious, and it's not every week, but it's in a good place at the moment. I'm having fun with it.
Yes, it is.
So,
It is in a great place.
anyway, I think that'll do us for today's.
One note that I just want to say, I know Gilly's 0-6 in my league, but I'm very proud of him in Mark's league, Blue Harvest, because he's actually 4-2 in that league, and he's actually in 6th place, meaning that he can get into the playoffs and win in Mark's league. So the whole thing. So that's great. That's all I gotta say.
Go on, Gilly. Keep going, mate. Keep it going.
Come on, Gilson.
Have immense happiness and being Gilster's friend. Great support to everybody in the toy community.
Yeah, he is.
Lovely. Okay, everyone. Thank you for checking out JJ and myself on this Nerd Talk from the other side of the world. And I had to read that from the small byline I've got on top because I can't read. So it's been a lot of fun as always.
As always, yes. Time is everything.
Great impression of Jonathan Majors. Brilliant. Okay. Love you, bro. I love you.
Love you too, brother. It's nice talking. Yeah, I'm always enjoying these Friday nights, especially with Loki and hopefully with Gen V soon.
So we always have a lot of fun on these shows, and we always kind of have our own opinions on anything we do, either regardless of we agree or disagree or agree to agree or disagree or agree. You know what I mean. Everyone else, I know what I mean.
Or you have a little mess ups.
Thank you very much, Dan, for popping in, and everyone else. It's been fun. Take care of yourselves out there, and always give a smile and make somebody laugh each and every day when you can. So yes, Goodbye.